Naperville City Council members recently proposed several ways to fill the city budget gap, among them redirecting a quarter of the current 1% food and beverage tax into the city's general fund. This tax is currently used to support the Special Events and Cultural Amenities Fund, otherwise referred to as SECA. NCTV 17's Laura Swan has the story.
NCO Youth and Family Services holds an annual fundraising run each spring. However, proposed SECA fund cuts might put events like these in jeopardy.
The SECA money is what they use to pay for city services that we use for the run. For example, police and all this, they close off roads. And if you take that money away from us and we then have to pay for city services, that would make it very hard for us to do some of these events.
SECA provides partial funding for programs and events like Ribfest, the DuPage Children's Museum, Naperville Community Television, and Kids Cabaret, to name a few. The SECA fund has grown much larger than ever expected, generating almost $3 million. Some council members say these dollars should go towards the budget gap.
SECA is a nice to have. It's not a must have. So I cannot in one day tell the police department that I'm sorry, you need to lay off 2 individuals, but then turn around and spend $3 million on things that, frankly, aren't core to the city business.
In fiscal year 2010, the council used more than $900,000, or a third of the SECA fund, for what they call existing agreements. Those include Carillon debt and maintenance, the 4th of July fireworks, and Riverwalk maintenance. Council members believe the amount allocated to fund those services should not change.
Those ongoing commitments, I think, are going to be maintained. It's the remainder that we have a competitive process where we accept applications, and then our Cultural Advisory Board makes a first set of recommendations. That allocation of money, I think, is going to be reduced this year.
If Naperville fully funds these existing SECA agreements, that leaves less than $2 million in the fund. And with some city council members wanting to take $750,000 off the top from SECA to balance the city's budget, that leaves a much smaller pie for not-for-profit applicants.
A lot of the applications that we send, and we're going to take a really close look to see that these events, these applications are really going to draw in people.
The whole idea of diverting SECA funds to balance a general budget shortfall doesn't sit right with some business owners.
I can't draw a correlation to putting a food and beverage tax on a small single business entity in our city to support general revenue funds, when especially a lot of the businesses are already heavily taxed on top of the normal property taxes to support things. This is not the time to start switching things over, and it's a slippery slope.
For Naperville News 17, I'm Laura Swan.
The city's Cultural Advisory Board will hold a public forum to discuss the SECA applications on March 13th and 14th, then make their recommendations to the City Council. The city will finalize the budget and the SECA grant allocations before the 2011 fiscal year starts on May 1st.